Welcome to Mellowdy Day 15. Today we start knitting at row 253 and I put the several stitch combinations in this video, like this one, yarn over CDD yarn over, this transition from main color to contrast color is in there. We have the knit two together yarn over and the yarn over SSK and this combination. At the end of the video there is of course the end result in knitting. Good luck! The stitch combination yarn over, central double decrease, yarn over. And in between the yarn overs and the central double decreases can be one or more knit stitches. But for this video I'm just going to explain this stitch combination and then you will have to see if there are knit stitches there as well. So first of all you are going to scoop up your working yarn. Now you are going to slip the next two stitches together as if to knit. You knit one and you pass the two slipped stitches over your knitted stitch. And then you scoop your working yarn again. In English it looks like this. You are going to bring your working yarn in between your needles and up and over. Then you are going to slip the next two stitches as if to knit. You knit the next stitch. You pass the two slipped stitches over your knitted stitch and off your needle. And you do a yarn over again by bringing the yarn in between your needle and up and over. The transition from main color to contrast color, going left, continental style. If you have two stitches on your needle that have the contrast color stitch underneath, it is time to do a make one. So you pull up the strand in between the two stitches on your needle, put it on your left hand needle and knit it, twist it. Then you knit one and now it's time to do a jogless stripe. So you are going to pull up the contrast color loop from the stitch underneath and pull it on your needle and knit it together with your last main color stitch. You pick up your contrast color yarn from underneath, knit one and then do an SSK. So slip one, put it on backwards and knit it together through the back loop. In English style it looks like this. When you have two stitches on your needle that have the contrast color underneath, it is time to do a make one. So you pick up the strand in between the stitches on your needle, pull it on your left hand needle and knit it, twist it. Now you knit one and you do a jogless stripe. So you pick up the strand of the contrast color stitch underneath the stitch on your needle, pull it up and knit it together. You grab your contrast color yarn from underneath, knit one stitch and do a slip slip knit. So slip one, put it on backwards and knit it together through the back loop. The stitch combination knit two together yarn over. You are going to treat the next two stitches as if they were one and knit them together. And then you are going to scoop up your working yarn. So you decreased one stitch by knitting two together and you increased one stitch again by your yarn over, so you still have the same amount of stitches. One more time, you are going to knit 2 together by treating the next 2 stitches as one, and then you scoop up your working yarn to make up for the decrease you just did. In English, it looks like this. You are going to knit the 2 stitches on the needle together as if they were one, and then you are going to bring your working yarn in between your needles up and over to the back so that you can work it again. One more time, the next 2 stitches you treat as one, and then you bring your working yarn in between and up and over your needle. You work a yarn over SSK as follows. First of all, you scoop up your working yarn from the back and back to the front. That's the yarn over. Now you slip off the first stitch as if to knit, you put it back on the needle backwards and you knit it together with the next stitch. In English it looks like this. You bring your working yarn through the middle and then back to the back so that it's in working position again. Then you slip 1 stitch as if to knit, put it back on the needle backwards and knit it together through the back loop. Transition from the main color to the contrast color for the following rows goes like this. When you have 2 stitches in the main color on your needle, you do an Elizabeth Zimmerman increase by pulling up the loop underneath the stitch and knit it. Then you knit 2. You grab your contrast color yarn from underneath your main color. You knit 1 and you do an SSK. So you slip 1, put it back on the needle, twist it and knit it together through the back loop with the next stitch. The transition from main color to contrast color going left, English style, looks like this. When you have 2 stitches in your main color, pick up the loop from the stitch underneath the stitch, pull it up on your left hand needle and knit it. Now you knit 2 stitches. Grab your contrast color yarn from underneath, knit 1 stitch and make an SSK. So slip 1, put it on backwards and knit it together through the back loop with the next stitch. And this is the end result for day 15. We have one big lace pattern in the main color, and don't forget to put in your lifeline, and I will be back with another pattern tomorrow.